The 2019 NBA free agents that I believe will either be staying or leaving. Now, before I get started, I just really want to say I have a predictions video coming out tomorrow. But I know that a lot of my subscribers really want content back to back, and I'm trying my hardest. I just haven't edited the whole predictions video for tomorrow. So what I will do is release this video today. It's not going to give away my predictions for tomorrow, but it will give you a video for today, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this one and look forward to tomorrow's video. So I'm going to get 2 videos out in 2 days for the free agency. So if you enjoy this, I would appreciate if you can leave a like. I promise my predictions video will be out tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And without further ado, let's get into it. I'm not going to give anything away. I'm just going to say if I think these guys will leave or if they'll stay. I guess obviously if I think they will stay, then yes, I'm giving my predictions away. But for a lot of the NBA free agents, I don't think many of them will stay. With that said, let's get into it. Kevin Durant. Do I think he's staying or leaving? Well, obviously, if he joins a team like the Brooklyn Nets or the New York Knicks, he's going to a team that is definitely not as good as the Golden State Warriors. With that said, he is missing the whole of the 2019-2020 NBA season. So, if he does join a guy like a Kyrie Irving or another free agent, then he may be enticed to join a new team. And I keep going back and forth as to why Kevin Durant would leave. And I feel like, to me, if he does stay with the Golden State Warriors, he's going to end up his prime years being in Golden State. If he does sign with them, he's going to have to sign a max 5-year contract. That's what I would be thinking that he would sign. I don't think he's going to sign like a 1-year max or a 2-year max, considering that he's not going to play a whole of the 1 year of next year. So I feel like if he does join a team, it's going to be for the max contract and it's going to be for the 5 years. Which kind of tells me that he's leaving this Golden State Warriors team. But in saying that, I have gone back and forth in choosing if I think he'll stay or if I think he leaves. I believe he leaves, and this is my reasoning. If he leaves, he will actually change the narrative of his NBA career. Hear me out. If he stays with the Golden State Warriors, people will view him as a Golden State Warrior for life. They're going to kind of diminish what he did in OKC, where he won his MVP. He went to the 2012 NBA Finals, but people really are just going to be like, oh, well, he won with the Warriors, but it doesn't really count because the Warriors were an all-star caliber team, and they had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, and he's one of the biggest snakes of all time. And in my opinion, I just don't think Kevin Durant wants to deal with that. I think he wants to kind of win his NBA championships. He already has that in Golden State, and now he wants to join a new team and try and compete with a new team and change the narrative of what people view him as. Because I think if I'm Kevin Durant, I would want people to view me as an NBA superstar. And if he just stays with Golden State, they will still view him as a superstar, but because of the Golden State Warriors and what they have been through, it kind of diminishes a little bit. I'm not saying for me personally, but I just know how NBA fans are, considering my comment section is full of them. So I believe that he actually leaves. Number 2, Kawhi Leonard. I think there's only 2 teams he can join. One is the Toronto Raptors and the other is the Los Angeles Clippers. I believe he stays with the Raptors. I think he tries to win another championship and goes back there. So that would be my prediction. That is one of my many predictions, but you're going to have to wait till tomorrow to find out my predictions video because I'm not done editing, but I'm so close to finishing. But I did want to get a video out for you guys today because I know that you guys want the videos. So Kawhi Leonard, I think he will stay. Kyrie Irving. Wow. This is a guy that I think we all know he's joining a new team. So, in my opinion, I don't want to give anything away, but there are plenty of teams he could join. The Brooklyn Nets, the New York Knicks, the LA Lakers. Do I think he'll join any of those teams? Yes, I do. Which one is it? You're going to have to find out. But I do think what Kyrie Irving does will actually depend a lot on what other players decide to do. I believe a lot of this NBA free agency really stems from 1 or 2 players. So let's say Kevin Durant decides to go to a team, that will ultimately, in my opinion, change the path of a guy like Julius Randle or a guy like Nikola Vucevic, which doesn't add up. But because one superstar player can change the narrative of a whole NBA free agency, my prediction video could either be 100% right or 100% wrong, simply off one player. Anyway, like I said, I believe Kyrie Irving will choose a new team, so I believe he is leaving, but I ultimately think that it really depends on where Kevin Durant leaves, because I actually think that Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant will pair up, but they also have a chance not to pair up, so it really could go either way, but ultimately I do believe he's leaving. Klay Thompson. Now, if you didn't know, he actually already stated that he will meet with the Los Angeles Clippers. The thing is, that is if the Golden State Warriors don't offer him a max 5-year contract, and to me, the Golden State Warriors will offer him a 5-year max contract, so I believe he is staying. The thing about the Golden State Warriors and the thing about Klay Thompson is they both know he may not come back next season. In saying that though, an ACL injury isn't a whole year out. You can come back. I just don't know if they want to take the risk. But in the end, if Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and whoever else they get in this year's free agency actually play well, then you never know. They could get Klay Thompson back and still be a good team in the Western Conference and challenge a lot of teams and still try to make the NBA Finals. At number 5, Kemba Walker. Do I believe he is staying or leaving? The thing about Kemba Walker is a lot of teams would want him. I believe there is a few options for Kemba Walker. One is the Celtics, one is the Lakers, one is the Dallas Mavericks, and one is the Phoenix Suns. Now, the Phoenix Suns probably have like a 10% chance, but they need a point guard and they can offer him a good deal, so you never know, he may go there. But in my opinion, Charlotte would be higher on his list than a team like the Phoenix Suns. So then it leaves the Celtics, the Lakers, the Dallas Mavericks, and still the Charlotte Hornets. I believe he goes to one of those teams, so I believe that he does leave the Charlotte Hornets ultimately, but in the end, I really wouldn't be surprised if he stays with the Charlotte Hornets because they still have a chance to get a few free agents, so just look out. If they can pair a guy with Kemba Walker, then it would still tell me that he has the ability to stay in Charlotte, but ultimately, I believe he leaves. Number 6, D'Angelo Russell. In the end, if Kyrie Irving does or doesn't go to the Brooklyn Nets, I still believe D'Angelo Russell will leave this team, simply because of the way that they've treated him. If you're a guy that's brought this team, and ultimately he's been the main star of this team, if you've brought them for where they were to where they are now, and they treat you like this, I don't believe he's going to come back, even if they don't get Kyrie Irving. So I believe that D'Angelo Russell will leave the Brooklyn Nets. There is obviously still that chance that if they don't get Kyrie Irving, he will stay, but in my opinion, I believe he leaves. Now, there's a few options for him: the Indiana Pacers, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Phoenix Suns. There's a whole lot of other teams that could make a push, such as the Philadelphia 76ers, where if they don't sign Tobias Harris and if they don't sign Jimmy Butler, the 76ers, I believe, could make a push for a guy like D'Angelo Russell, considering him and Ben Simmons are quite close. Ben Simmons, I think, could definitely play a small forward role. Even though he is playing at the point guard position, I think D'Lo could be more of a shooting guard and he could play off Ben Simmons. But in the end, we're not really talking about where he could play. I believe that he will leave this team, and that's my opinion. Number 7, Jimmy Butler. Now this is really, really interesting because the Philadelphia 76ers could either have Tobias Harris, Jimmy Butler, or one of the two, or neither. And in my opinion, I don't believe they're going to get Tobias Harris back, even though Tobias Harris would be a better fit than Jimmy Butler considering the age. The thing is, I don't think they're going to get Jimmy Butler back either, so I believe that Jimmy Butler will play on a new team next season, and I believe he is leaving the Philadelphia 76ers, but I do have a thing in my mind that suggests that Jimmy Butler will actually re-sign with the Philadelphia 76ers, and he possibly could get a sign and trade. Chris Middleton, I don't think I need to get into this too much. I believe that he stays with the Bucks. Him and Giannis were a great duo, and I think they're just going to continue that into next season. Tobias Harris, I kind of touched on that before. I believe that he is leaving the Philadelphia 76ers. He didn't have the most productive stint with the 76ers. And if I'm the Clippers, I would almost regret trading him because of what they got and what they received. Like, they didn't receive the worst of trades, but they also could have been a good contender in the West, considering that the Clippers actually did quite well without him. And imagine if they had him this season. Nikola Vucevic. This is an interesting one because he's a player that I don't think will actually request max money, which leaves the door open for a team like the Lakers or the Celtics to go after. And I think Vucevic will not come back to the Orlando Magic, and he will try and join a contending team. DeAndre Jordan, he's in the similar mold to what Nikola Vucevic is. He's not as good and he's a completely different player, but once again, unless the New York Knicks sign a guy like Kevin Durant, I don't think that DeAndre Jordan stays with the Knicks, and I believe he will join another team, so I would say that DeAndre Jordan is leaving. Al Horford. I also believe that Al Horford has the potential to stay with the Boston Celtics, since just because he opted out, it doesn't mean that he's going to leave 100%. In saying that, I think there is a 95% chance that he does leave, and I believe there is one team that's clear cut for Al Horford, so I'm saying that he's leaving. Obviously, Kristaps Porzingis, we're not going to get into that. He is staying with this team, even though he's a restricted free agent. Obviously, he hasn't played a game with Dallas, so I think he will definitely stay with Dallas. DeMarcus Cousins, this is one of the most interesting players in the whole of free agency. Will he request a max contract? Will he leave the Golden State Warriors? I believe he will. You never know what happens with DeMarcus Cousins at this point. I mean, for him to join the Warriors last season, that shocked me 100%. So anything that DeMarcus Cousins decides to do will definitely shock me now. But I believe he will actually leave the Golden State Warriors. And I'll let you know my prediction in the next video. Julius Randle. I also believe he will leave the New Orleans Pelicans, and I think we all kind of know that now since they got Zion Williamson, they drafted Jackson Hayes, but I just don't think the fit of Zion and Randle would be a great fit together, so I ultimately think that he's going to leave. And at number 16, Marc Gasol, I think he will stay with the Toronto Raptors. And that is my staying or leaving episode. But if you guys want to see my full predictions, let me know down below. Drop a like on this video if you want to see it. Subscribe if you are new. Follow me on Instagram. Hit the notifications button. And I will catch you guys in my next video, which will be the predictions. And I am out. Peace.